Watch this, guys. You ready? Watch this. This is how delicious my dog is. You guys ready? Did that hurt you? Did that scare you? Did that scare you? I scared you. Did that scare you?
Gummy thing to do, and the quartering, who I've never really liked, and that's not really the point of this video, if I like him or don't like him, but I don't like what he's doing here with his fans and e-begging, essentially turned into an e-beggar, especially a guy at the channel as big as he is and how much money he's making off his channel, and then he comes out here and starts asking his fans for money now. Yeah, listen, the quartering, go pound some sand.
His Patreon and asking his fans to help support it in order to pay his editors while he continues to make a lot of money off his videos.
Come with me.
Chosen to talk about it.
I know that. So, yeah, 25, 30 grand, let's just say a lowball the fuck out of it. That's what you're making per month, at least on your YouTube videos. And then you go on and say, like, hey, man, can you guys, like, you know, you do a whole intro on your video and you talk about, like, hey, man, you know, you go on saying that, you know, it's been a tough month. January ad revenue sucks. And, you know, you give
Nah, I did not say that.
You literally said January ad revenue is not good. And I didn't spend any money November, December, you know.
All right. Amidst all the drama out on the Twitter sphere and amidst all the drama out there on YouTube and everywhere else, we still have a job to do. We still have work that we got to get done. So what we do in versus mode is take two YouTubers or two people out there that have an issue with each other, and we just tell people what happened, and then I weigh in with my opinion. I usually try to get your guys' opinion throughout looking into things. This will be a quick one. Honestly, we could do this stream tonight, and then tomorrow or the next day, by the end of the weekend, start of next week, I can get the next versus mode out. So it'll be awesome because there's a lot of like nuanced discussion that happened because of this. Which is, the topic is 8 Thoughts versus the quartering. 8 Thoughts being a content creator you've seen here before, because I've actually shown some of his content and responded to some of his content because I like his channel. I think he's a good creator. I think he's one of the last few edgy creators that does not give in and bow down to censorship so that he can get views, or so that he doesn't care, dude. Like, he really doesn't care, and that's why I love his channel. Then you got the quartering on the opposite side of the spectrum, who gets a lot of criticism. You've seen him on the channel. But I've shown the quartering earlier on, when quartering used to go in and give breakdowns on things. I would show some of his stuff. I'd respond to some of his stuff, or else maybe he would talk through some things and I'd use a clip of his to explain a situation and I'd respond or whatever. You haven't seen that much lately, though, just because he's been doing a lot more different content than he used to. But even there, you got him on the other side of the argument, on the other side of the table. The quartering is like a news guy. He talks about social justice warriors. He talks about exposing this whole agenda that's out there with that kind of thing, in his opinion, according to him. And also, and you already know how I feel about all that. I've told you a million times. But even though he talks about a lot of gaming culture, a lot of video game reporting without politics put in, which is strange, right? He wants to report on games without politics put in, and he handles the politics and what he thinks about putting politics into the stuff on his channel. Long explanation, but these two creators had an issue, and 8 Thoughts made a video calling him out for having a Patreon. Kind of. It's way more complicated than that, and that's why I decided to make this the next versus mode. And I also thought it'll be one of those things I can actually get the video out. It'll be unlike the ending of the 2 versus modes that are still being worked on after all this time due to evolving situations, the non sequitur versus mode and then the Katie Joy versus non sequitur versus mode. Those are longer stories, so it'd be nice to get this out in the middle. So we're going to do the initial versus mode live stream right now, because the coolest thing happened. The Quartering got really mad at 8 Thoughts because he did his video, and the Quartering invited him onto Ralph Retort's show, and they sat down and actually talked about the whole thing. They debated each other over the issue, and it was really cool because 8 Thoughts took a word out of his title because of it. The Quartering announced a victory over it, but then he kind of scaled it back. But really, in the end of this argument, a lot of people came out still supporting whoever they supported in the beginning and still hating whoever they hated in the beginning. It didn't have a big negative effect towards 8 Thoughts, and it might have had a little bit of a negative effect towards the Quartering. I don't know, though, because we got to look at it right now. And Bo Blacks, who's a dude that does... Where are you at, dude? Here he is. Bo Blacks, you've seen him on my channel back when he had like 3 or 4 or 5 or 7 or 10,000 subs. Actually, I've been subscribed to this dude since right when he started, and I don't remember why. I think it might have been Mundane Mad or something, but I don't remember. Anyway, he does the Twitter Versus series, and I always try to shout out his channel whenever I use him. Because listen, dude, his channel basically, as you can see, is Twitter versus Jesse Smiles, Twitter versus Logan Paul, blah, 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 blah. Thanks for copying versus mode there, Bo Blacks, because I was doing versus mode way before you were doing. I'm just playing. It's a joke. He's always welcome to use any of my versus mode stuff anytime. He never want to, though. Anyway, he does Twitter battles between big figures, even the president. He's done even, like, Twitter versus people. So it's like when Nerd City, he's just a good creator. I'm shouting him out because we're going to go through one of his videos where he looks at all the tweets that came out from bigger people about the issue. He mixes some smaller creators into it, which I think is cool. And then we're going to use his tweets, and he's going to give us the kind of thing that happened to detail this. But before we go to the versus mode segment, before we start our hard work of working together to get a video out tonight, and before we just chill, hang with the live chat, do our thing, we're going to be looking at the issue that happened with Boogie2988. Was it today or yesterday? 2 days ago. Boogie got a lot of heat. You may know who Boogie is. I'm not going to explain. He's a guy that he just has an internet personality named Francis, you know, the dude that drinks Mountain Dew and rages over World of Warcraft. You've probably seen this video, even if you don't remember it. He's kind of turned into a little bit of a lolcow lately. That's not me putting him down. Boogie, don't hate me. I like you, dude. It's all good. Not insulting you in any way. Other people would say that about him. And he did something a little bit crazy. He tried to eat his doggo. He tried to take a bite out of Crime if Crime is his dog. He literally took a bite of the dog. Now, I don't know what happened, but we're going to break this down first because this is easy. This is quick. Let me do that right now. All right now tonight on UNIRock Live, my nightly live show where I want to chill with my squad fam, my viewership, the people out there that like hanging out on my channel. I try to go live each night over here. The after show will be hosted on my normal networks, which is DLive, Periscope, and Mixer, but we've also turned on the Rock-A-Lot channel on YouTube because a lot of people had an issue watching on DLive. So if you want to watch on YouTube our after show, when this ends, the channel Rock-A-Lot, all one word, on the sidebar. Okay, I did the intro. I'm not going to do the big intro like I normally do because let's just get into this. It all started when Keemstar, well, it didn't all start there, but it was inflamed. People were angered. More people paid attention when Keem said, as most stories on the internet, Keem said, Boogie intentionally bit his dog. Then posted the same clip on his Twitter, cutting out half of it. He is such a fake ding-dong. He's also playing the victim again. They are going to call me an animal abuser. My dog is happy you still did this, moron. Keem. Now, I, at first reading this, completely agreed with Keem, kind of. So let me tell you what I mean. A lot of people got mad at Keem for this tweet. And I'll tell you why. It's at the end of it. Because at first, I'm fine with the tweet. Did he intentionally bite his dog? Yes. Then did he post the same clip on his Twitter cutting out half of it? I'll believe Keem. I'll say yes. Then he says he's such a fake insult. So I'm like, yeah, that's pretty freaking fake, dude. Don't edit the clip if you're going to respond to an outrage over the clip. Don't cut out half of it. Also, he's playing the victim again. Quote, they are going to call me an animal abuser. My dog. And he's got is that a space comma? Oh, pause it, Busy. Oh my God, that is literally a space comma. Keem. Watch out for those, dude. My dog is happy. You still did this, moron. There's an issue at the end of this tweet, Keem. You literally gave it to him because he's playing the victim by saying, oh no, I bit my dog and now they're going to call me an animal abuser. But when you say when you follow up with, you still bit your dog, moron, you kind of are doing what he said you would do, which would mean, well, he's not playing the victim. You guys literally are calling him an animal abuser. Anyway, though, the first thing we have to do to break this down is, did he abuse his dog or was he just playing? So take a really close look. No music, just the audio of Boogie and biting the doggo.
You know, my favorite thing about Sammy is he's delicious. Watch this, guys. You ready? Watch this. This is how delicious my dog is. You guys ready?
Now.
Did I hurt you? I'm sorry. Did I scare you?
What we've just seen is a beautiful interaction between pet owner and pet. I'm just kidding. I am really being dumb. So look, here's what he does. As you see, if you analyze the clip, he bites the dog's skin and he pulls back a little bit. The dog seems to get nervous, right? The dog didn't get hurt because he didn't go, yipe, yipe, yipe. You know, if you hurt a dog, they're going to yipe. Even if you scare a dog, most of the time they yipe. So the dog doesn't yipe, but the dog kind of nipped at him, right? That's a normal response from a dog when dogs are playing and they nip at each other. And I think the dog would have let him have it if he would have hurt the dog. The dog's just like, yo, ding dong, that's a little uncomfortable. Leave me alone. Can it at all lead to animal abuse? Being called animal abuse? Of course not. Of course not. And who brought up the animal abuse? Unfortunately, Boogie did. So I wanted to bring this clip up and respond to Keem and be like, look, dude, you already had him. You didn't have to go and make him right. Maybe you purposely did that to be sarcastic. I don't know. I think you were just tweeting. But the main thing here is that, Boogie, you gotta chill. If you're going to make a joke that your dog is delicious and then bite him, who cares if the dog comes at you a little bit? Obviously, the dog likes you. The dog loves you. Chill it, bro. But anyway, I want to see what people said to him. Then we're going to go into the show. Anyway, just a little bit of advice, Boogie. I don't think he watches my stuff. Maybe one day he'll click on one of my videos because I constantly tell Boogie2988, if you're going to make a joke, just do the joke and just go with it. Don't sit and feel bad after. You don't got to explain yourself. If there's a big outrage, let it go. Maybe make a quick response, but dude, chill. You got Boogie himself, this is actually pretty funny. Like, I had to give Boogie a little credit because he named his Twitter account the CEO of Mountain Dew. That's an actual funny joke, Boogie. I can actually say you've made a funny joke in the last year. That's good. Maybe and biting the dog wasn't that bad. It wasn't really funny. It wasn't really a joke, but it wasn't as bad as people make it out to be. Anyway, yes, I've done this exact shtick maybe 100 times. It clearly can't harm him. Please tell me you're not so stupid as to think it could. Obviously, it was a dumb stunt to pull, but to pretend my dog could be hurt by it is hypocrisy, and you know it. The problem is he is right, but if you are right, then just don't get on the Twitter sphere. You're just going to piss people off. If this is considered animal abuse, then getting a second dog is even more abusive because dogs do much work to each other when they're playing. Boogie lives to play victim, probably got hungry and thought the dog was a burrito. He comes back. The CEO with Mountain Dew says, Chinese food, actually. Watch out before Boogie pulls out the you-know-what card. What's with the cancel culture, though? I agree no matter what the intention was. How is this any different than what Alinity Twitch did when she threw her cat behind herself? He bit his dog hard and pulled his skin with his teeth. No, he didn't, ding dong. You didn't watch the clip then. He didn't bite the skin hard. The dog was clearly hurt and uncomfortable. This shouldn't be allowed on Twitch. This is the bad response, in my opinion. This is the kind of response that people do not need to get behind because unless he really did hurt the dog, because that will lead to some cancel culture or it could lead to something bad. That's the kind of not good thing. I don't know what else to say there. Keem right now. Yeah, Keem right now. Hold on. Let me just play. Actually, I don't want to play it because it's got Jones talking. But you know what he says there, right? Okay. I'm glad 90% of the tweets under this are defending Boogie. Keem, you're reaching. We get it. You don't like him, but come on. So, reanalyzing what Keem said, does it seem like Keem is reaching a little bit? Maybe. Keem is accused a lot of trying to fabricate drama when things are bored, when things are a little boring out there. I don't know if that's what he's doing here. I actually like Keem's show now. I've said that, though, for like a year and a half, and that was a dangerous opinion to have a couple years ago, remember? After Content Cop came out on him, it was literally dangerous to admit that you watched Drama Alert, and I always did. So, although I do think that Keem does overreact sometimes, he's typically been doing better. So, Keem, bro, really? Really? Really, Keem? Hand sanitizer says, I stopped looking at Twitter and I feel much better. You know, that is such a good point. Twitter is a cesspool. Actually, social media in general is a cesspool. And really, I've always wondered why. I want to go read a book. I want to read a book. No, I really do. I want to read a book on why Twitter is so much more of a cesspool than Facebook. The only difference on Twitter is that you are limited to 150 characters a long time ago, and then they upped it to like 250 or whatever, or 200. It's the only difference. So is it because it's short form? It being short form, I think it takes away the context. I think that people must add additional tweets. And then when somebody wants to target one little thing you've said with no context, Twitter doesn't only make it easy, it makes it possible, and it makes it easy to get away with, right? When you have your conversation broken up into these parts, you're never gaining full context reading through any longer tweet or post. And then sometimes when people do have context added in other tweets, it just never goes as viral as the first one and people don't care to look. And that can really affect the conversation. I think that might be why Twitter is such a cesspool compared to Facebook, where if you want to put out a long post on Facebook, you can do it. And I know people are going to say, but UNIRock, you can twit longer. But UNIRock, you can do you can write everything in a giant thing and then screenshot it. Yeah, but nobody does that. No, I don't do it. I would never do it. Why do I need to do that in 2020 or 2019 even? I mean, for God's sakes, I should just be able to tweet what I want to tweet, even if it is 500. I should be able to type a novel into that sucker. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the bandwidth is the problem. Either way, though, I agree with you on hand sanitizer. I do think that Twitter is a cesspool, and that's why I only meme around when I'm on Twitter. I announce my show. I share things. I look at other people's Twitter and scan through and try to do all that. I do those things. But I'm with you, man. I think it's a really dirty, nasty little cesspool, yeah. Lone Wolf says, true story, the book printing factory that I used to work at printed a book one time called, quote, "This is why we can't have nice things anymore. A history of internet trolling." That's an actual book, Lone Wolf? Maybe I should take a look at it, my dude. Maybe I should someday. Hey, guys, let me talk to you before we get into this. I'm going to close this out, this whole dog issue. Let me talk to you guys before we get going. So we're going to go into this new versus mode. I think it's a nice little break in content. I think it's a nice little change of pace. It'll take us away from some of the ding-dong drama that's out there. If you wanted me to address the drama tonight, maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. Let me address it in a very vague way. Everybody out there have turned into giant, horrible hypocrites. And I have basically just, now I'm responding to people that are actually trying to find out the full context of the story, the ones that aren't lying, the ones that aren't manipulating things, that are trying to follow evidence and all that. I am in conversations with a few of them, talking to Logical Troglodyte, trying to set up a conversation with him soon. It's gotten so far, though, just because Logical Troglodyte reached out to me and people found out that he was talking to me, people started to bully Logical Troglodyte, and then Logical had to message me and say, What in the hell is this, Uni? Why am I getting dragged into drama? And we had to write him back and say, dude, we didn't drag you into damn anything. We are simply responding to you. And he even said he wanted me on his show, so he wanted it to be public that we were talking, or I wouldn't have even announced it. So my problem here is you already know why there's a lot of issues going on with the last few stories. Now that things have hit crisis level with them, certain people are out there literally making up anything they can, or trying to pretend like certain things didn't happen, or certain information wasn't given to them a month ago, or things like that. And the issue with this story is, thanks to me being involved, I have just aired everything out. I put everything out there. I told you guys everything that was going on while it was happening. And for the people that cared to follow the whole story, now they can see when people are running narratives, because they know what happened a month ago. They know what happened 2 months ago. People that really care enough to support, the people that really care enough to not just, back something on pure this is my side type of thinking. Those people now have been given the truth in the most shitty way, kind of, right? Due to a lot of trolling and a lot of BS, but they do have it. So now the fabric of social media around all of this has changed. There's a lot of people that don't want it to change. They don't want to accept it. They want it to go back to how it was a month ago or a month and a half ago. They want it to go back to the golden days where nobody knew what was really going on, and everybody was out there helping people go around and push lies and fake screenshots and fake emails and all this stuff, right? So anyway, let's go ahead and get into this story, and then after we get through this, we'll sit down and talk for the live chat a little bit, and we'll get them moving. So let's go. Where do we start? This whole thing started on 8 Thoughts channel, so we're going to start on 8 Thoughts channel. It all started when 8 Thoughts uploaded this video. The quartering is an e-beggar, and it used to say an e-beggar and a scammer, but 8 Thoughts is like me. He will talk to people that he makes videos on. He'll talk to the people core to a story, and after he talked to Jeremy, he changed the title to just the quartering is an e-beggar, and even the quartering was okay with that, okay? Just so you know, you're going to hear this in a minute. Let's just take a look at the little summation here. He said, the quartering, a.k.a. Jeremy, runs a very successful YouTube channel with over 600,000 subs, yet he feels the need to ask his fans for money to support him. In this video, I give my opinion why I disagree with this, and I feel like it's scummy behavior. So going into 8 Thoughts video, the question at hand is going to be, is Jeremy wrong of the quartering for running a Patreon, a GoFundMe, or a crowdfunding type of endeavor while he's raking in a lot of money from his channel? Don't make up your mind yet. Hear out 8 Thoughts, and then we'll talk about it and move on.
Most of you probably know who the quartering is, but for some of you who are coming in cold on this one, this is the quartering. His name's Jeremy, and essentially he does I guess videos with sort of an anti-SJW, sort of how you would I guess alarmist kind of videos where female privilege in video games media must stop this. I was wrecked by Batwoman, my career's over. He's sort of like the Paul Joseph Watson, but nearly not as to the point or as entertaining of gaming, I guess, and pop culture kind of in a way. He drags his videos out. You will never, ever, ever in a million years see a video less than 10 minutes long. He never, ever, they're the most drawn out, boring, least entertaining videos in the world, which is fine, right? If that's what you want to do, if that's your content, that's cool, man. I really don't care. YouTube is a free-for-all for the most part, and it doesn't cost you anything to watch the video. If you don't like the content, don't watch it. So it's inconsequential if I think his content sucks, which is, it's horrible. I have no idea how people watch it. It doesn't matter. If you enjoy it, that's cool, man, but that's not what this video's about. But I just want to make it known I think his content sucks, and he talks and draws it out for as long as he can and never gets to the damn point in order to, get more ad rev.
Okay, I'm going to skip ahead just a little bit. He talks about his video content a little bit. We're going to skip that part.
Quadruples your revenue. So like I said, he is never going to make a video less than 10 minutes long. So that's who this guy is.
Basically, 8 Thoughts' criticism there was he drags his video content out past 10 minutes every time so that he can add in mid-rolls and get more money. That was his criticism, but it doesn't really affect it, and I thought I'd just sum it up. Hey, Leroy, I have never seen that sticker before, dude. That's actually funny, man. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it.
It's right here, Jeremy.
Oh! Hold up. Are we going to hear it? Are we going to hear the new donation sound? Let me see what's wrong. You're supposed to... So, look, I forgot a major point of tonight's stream, guys. I updated our donation sound effect. If you remember, it used to be this flat earther guy named Darwin, and he would say, it's a ball, whenever you donated, right? So let me go ahead and play since it didn't play when Moderate did it, and I'll have to figure out why it's not playing. Here's the new donation noise. Expose me, Boomer. Was that too low? Was that too low of a donation noise? Let me turn it up a little, okay? Hold up. Let me turn it up a little tiny bit. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Let me try it one more time. Expose me, Boomer. Expose me, Boomer. Expose me, Boomer. Did you guys hear it? Did you guys catch that? It was Creepshow Art. That is the YouTuber Creepshow Art saying, expose me, Boomer. Just saying, whenever you donate, that will be the sound that you hear. If I can get my sound effects playing, I'm using a different version of OBS to stream. That might be why. I'm going to try to fix it while we hear out 8 thoughts.
Me the quartering. So his content sucks, but that's not what this video is about. What bothers me though is when content creators turn to e-beggars like, we
No, not expose Obama. Expose me, Boomer. Expose me, Boomer. Hold on, I'll find it and play it for you really loud. I'll get it from my actual
things, redemption or filthy, what the hell's that guy's name?
All right, what is going on, everyone? Phil here. I'm a loser.
But he's turned into an e-beggar, right? And the problem is that this guy makes a ton of money, and what he's asking money for is absolutely ridiculous. Like, listen, like I said, the website's free. You don't have to pay to watch videos. If you don't like the dude's content, don't watch it. You're not hurting anybody. But this guy makes a ton of money on you.
Okay, can you hear it?
Expose me, Boomer. Expose me, Boomer.
It's from Creepshow Art's videos, one of her videos. I like the sound effect. I really like the sound effect. Do you guys have a problem with that being our new sound effect for donations? One more time so you can hear it.
Expose me, Boomer.
I think it's a good sound effect for donations.
YouTube already. And then he now has like the gall to start asking for his subscribers to support his subscribe star. His subscribe star all the way up to $100 a month, legendary status. I highly recommend not back at this level. But if you do, I will use your generous donation to work towards completing my inbox NES collection. Haha.
Okay, so he's showing you right now some of the quartering stuff. We're going to skip ahead. If you want to see the full video, of course, I'm not going to try to rip off 8 Thoughts. Playing this under fair use so that we can discuss this entire issue together in this live stream. And just for people that just showed up, we're going to be doing versus mode on the subject, and that's why we're streaming on it right now. So
really bad. Like January right now, ad revenue sucks. The quartering is, and like also on top of that, I don't get the best ad rates because I swear, I tackle, comments and topics that could be ruled like, not as ad friendly. So Jeremy, the quartering, doesn't swear at all. Like, there's no cussing in there. His topics is, it can go into the little bit of the risque area a little bit, not super, ad friendly, but let's just say for at least he gets as much ads as I get. Okay, so just do the math. I'm making 4 to 10. He gets 10 million more views than I do, so you can put 5 times. He's on his way to being a millionaire. Like, let's just keeping it real here. Like, the dude is on his way to 7 figures. He definitely makes 6 figures plus a year.
Okay, we're going to skip ahead a little bit more.
Well, that happens, and I knew that would happen. I planned for it, and I used something like Patreon for a very long time to offset, and then I was banned. Well, thankfully,
if you're making as much money as you're making, Jeremy, I mean, how many freaking... So a guy also has like 7 different channels and a website and crap like that. Like, if you're making that much money...
Okay, that's it. I've given you a lot more of 8 Thoughts, our initial argument or video than I normally would, just to respect 8 Thoughts content, and you can find his channel here, and I do suggest you subscribe. If you like edgy comedy and silly comedy and all that, he's the king. And he does some crazy stuff, guys, okay? He literally criticized a video game producer and then got attention from the video game producers due to his criticism of them. It was just really nuts, dude. He was funny about it, too. Okay. Back to it. You've already heard me recommend 8 Thoughts a million times. I stole one of his intros. He took this really popular meme and used it as an intro, and I really liked it. So then I stole him. He stole it first, but then I stole it from him and used it as an intro myself. So, you know, I'm just shameless like that. Back to the story. After that, though, on Twitter, as detailed in the video, Twitter versus 8 Thoughts and the quartering, normally, Boblax would have just put Twitter versus 8 Thoughts or Twitter versus the quartering. But because it was not really dictated what side everybody was on, there were so many people on both sides with different arguments. It was so middle line. I think that's why he added both of their names. Maybe not. Maybe somebody did win and I just didn't get it. But I'm going to give you I'm going to let Boblax, I'm going to skip through this a lot faster than the last one and only play maybe a good 20 or 30 seconds of his video. So I do suggest you go watch his video and subscribe because he does he's a really good job of documenting these crazy things that happen over there. But let's take a look at what happened on Twitter after the video went live when 8 Thoughts and the quartering started to argue with their fans getting in the middle of it and helping them out.
Videos already. This is what he had to say in the video.
Most of you probably know who the quartering is, but for some...
Actually, I forgot. He actually puts the beginning in. I could have just played his beginning, but here we go. So here's what Jeremy said afterwards, told by Boblax. So like, subscribe, share his video. I'm going to share this out actually right now for you. That way you guys are good to go. And fair use article in the description. Let's roll.
8 Thoughts YouTube video on him and replies by saying, I spent the day helping another YouTuber. You spent the day worrying about another man's cash and calling me a scammer. I'll sleep good tonight, bud. Keep being alpha. The Black Tangeroo then replies to him by saying, will we get a video on this soon? To which quartering responds, no. That's what Supreme Alpha wants. He's entitled to his opinion, but there is no value in addressing someone's opinion who means so little. Augie RFC responds to quartering.
Okay, I just wanted to see 8 Thoughts' response here because Augie gets in it. Great logic. Doesn't negate the fact that you make $400,000 to $500,000 a year from YouTube, then ask people to donate to pay your editors, which is hilarious because what you edit, what editing are they doing? Also pay them for your high 6-figure income. Now, there's a little bit of issue here, and I don't know if it gets solved or not. Because 8 Thoughts is assuming that Jeremy is talking about the editors of his YouTube videos, which are not edited in any way, shape, or form that I know of. And if somebody is editing the quartering's videos, they should only be paid like $5 because they don't do shit. They don't cut down anything. They cut out nothing. But back to it though, I think the quartering was talking about his editors because he has a website. And he has a pretty damn good website. He really does. He covers video games, new releases, top 10 lists, top 10 reviewers of video games on YouTube. These are just articles I've seen from the quartering's website. I kind of like it. I don't know if that's good or bad. I haven't looked at it enough to really garner any type of opinion in comparison to other video game websites out there. But at least from what I've seen, I think for a dude starting this up based off of his YouTube channel, it's pretty damn cool. But this is how the quartering responds, and we'll move on to them actually debating each other after this.
You know how much I earn from YouTube? Are you my accountant? You get that you look like a total idiot, right? You know how pathetic it looks? You up there in Canada obsessing over what another man earns and how he spends his money? How should I spend my money, Dad?
I don't know why it matters. The 8 Thoughts is from Canada, the quartering. I'm just adding that in. Canada's really cool. I've been there a few times. It's really clean. Anyone ever say that about Canada? Because I say that every time I talk about it. It's a really clean place.
8 Thoughts and replies, way to deflect the matter at hand, and ignoring you run a Patreon to suck money from your fans. Jesus Christ, bro. I'm the idiot? Nah, man. You are a fraud and an e-bagger. You, Wings of Redemption, and Darkside Phil are the holy trinity of losers. The quartering replies by saying, it's actually a subscribe star. The link is subscribestar.com/thequartering. Back today.
All right, now that is Boblax, who He looks at all the different Twitter battles that are going on from pretty either famous people or internet personalities or YouTubers, and puts them into these kind of videos where he details the entire thing that happened. I kind of like that he does this. From a content creator standpoint, if I want to go out there and find a tweet and he's done a video on it, I'll find it if I can't find it on Twitter. It's faster to go to Twitter, but if I can't find it, it's typically in his video, which I think it's cool. It's really cool that people are starting to do this now when it comes to these types of situations, because in this situation, it led to this. A quartering, a special quartering versus 8 Thoughts, and this is the full clip of the kill stream where I guess the quartering reached out to 8 Thoughts and was like, dude, I could own you in a debate over this. And 8 Thoughts is like, no, dude, I will own you in a debate over this. So they debated it. And it went way different than any of us thought. Even the host was like, this is the first time anybody has gotten along with each other and actually like been cool with each other at the end of this debate. We're just going to skip through it. Then I'll talk to you about it and we'll move on and talk about some other stuff. So take a listen to what happened. And then we'll keep on pumping.
You know, and I saved up for January.
Yep. That's more correct. Yeah, I saved my SubscribeStar money for January, February because
but you're making $300,000 a year. If your ad revenue cuts down to half of that, you're still making more than 99.9% of people watching the video. And then you go on to ask people like, hey, I have to pay my editors. I got to pay my editors. Hey man, support my SubscribeStar, which is my understanding, SubscriberStar is pretty much a Patreon, which is not the same thing.
Yeah, well, see, your framing of it is that my statement was that the editors would not continue to get paid if people didn't back my SubscribeStar. And
I never said
obviously
that.
Was never. Well, okay, well, you called me an e-beggar and a scammer. I mean,
you're e-begging. You're e-begging because the e-begging is you're asking your subscribers to give you money to pay your editors when you are making such a huge amount of money compared to the average person. How about you don't fucking ask your subscribers for money and pay it out of your own pocket like a normal human being? Why the fuck? And second of all, if your editors are editing, this is sort of just to muddy the waters, but the editors you're paying, what the fuck editing do they do on your videos? You pretty much just read off.
Yeah, this is where that whole thing gets solved I mentioned earlier, but we're only going to hear a couple minutes of this too, so you might want to find it. It's on like 20 channels though. So the entire like argument they had, I found it when I typed in 8 Thoughts space the quartering, it just was everywhere. So you can find
other people's work on websites and whatnot, and then give your 2 cents on it. So like the editing is whatever. Forget the side point editing. You make enough money. You don't need to ask your subscribers to help pay for the editors. Do it yourself.
How much money am I allowed to make?
That's not the point. That's a red herring.
No, it is because
no, it's not. That's a red herring.
Yes, it is. Listen,
that is a
no, it isn't a red herring. Let me describe what a red. You're allowed to make as much money as you want,
but when you're allowed to make as much money as you want. But when you start
I'm allowed to make as much money as I want.
When you start asking your subscribers to pay you money, that's when that's become an e-beggar. That is an e-beggar. You're like a Starkside Phil or what the fuck that geek's name is. You're like a Wings Redemption. Let me pay for this.
No, that's not.
Whatever that geek's name is, that's just funny when he says it that way.
Even close. Your entire argument in your entire video was that he makes X dollars a month. Why does he have a SubscribeStar? Well, we live in a world where people are constantly banned from YouTube.
We live in a society
for no reason whatsoever. We're on a show right now that was banned off YouTube because he the monster raised $50,000 for St. Jude's, and he still got banned.
I know the story.
Yeah, I did tell him the story right before you came on, actually. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So I'm telling you, if I was making fucking $1 million a month on YouTube, I would still have a SubscribeStar.
So you're an e-beggar. That's a definition of an e-beggar. You're asking.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it is. And the reason that you.
Okay, that's kind of where I wanted to go to. I want to know what you guys think. Is him literally having a Patreon e-begging? No, I don't think so. I remember the early days of the internet, people had problems with Patreon when it first came out. People had this opinion. But after demonetization happened, it was basically like, look, if you want somebody to make constant content, you're really like a smaller creator, help them out, or else they're not going to be able to make content all the time, especially with the monetization and all this stuff happening. Now, we're in a different age. We're in a different phase of YouTube now. When you get a partner program now, it is a little easier to monetize your videos. You kind of do get ads now, whereas we used to get nothing, dude. You remember, I complained about it. I don't think that the quartering is an e-beggar for having a Patreon. I mean, for God's sakes, the Angry Joe Show just opened a Patreon, and he's got 3.2 million subscribers. He lost his something or other, a contract or something, and he had to do something, and he just opened a Patreon, and literally, like, he's back to making normal content again because he doesn't feel the pressure or the crunch, as he says, from, you know, the fact that they lost this advertiser. Personally, is it wrong for someone like the quartering to have one? And if it is wrong, doesn't that mean it's wrong for Angry Joe and a bunch of other people? But I do kind of see 8thought's point, and maybe he was just arguing the wrong point, because was it possible that he's just saying, like, dude, you're making bank. Why are you pushing this? And asking the way he did it would have been the better argument to bring into the kill stream for 8thoughts, because he comes in and instead of putting the focus on the fact that he was saying, I need to pay editors, I need to pay this, and if you would donate to SubscribeStar, it'll do those things. You know, something about it I did get 8thought's point. I kind of did. So I thought I'd see what you guys had to say. I'll check the chat in a minute. Just give you guys time to type anything if you want to put it in. But, oh, you were talking to your husband about this today? I want to launch my channel this year. I'm trying to figure out how. Because talking about my story will be full of trigger words that will demonetize me. Well, here's my opinion, Ink and Pearls. And thanks for your opinion. That was really good. I appreciate it. Joelbot's got one, and I'll go back. I think asking people to support on Patreon or SubscribeStar is okay, but acting like this can't pay as editors is a little disingenuous. That's where I'm at, too. I think I'm agreeing there, but let me see if anybody else added a point, though. Michael said, I think 8thoughts needs to go to the other 99, 28, 38, 8, 48, 292, 298, 238, 47, 483 billion channels with Patreon. Exactly, right? So is it, Leroy said, just because they ask does not mean anyone has to donate unless they want to. Boom, emoji. John says, I think that the MXR drama has kind of proven that you need some serious overhead if you need to maintain your business. MXR drama. I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of it right now. It'll come back to me. That'll come back to me. Merck says counting other people's money is icky. I agree. Then Roland says, sounded like the quartering was going to say that he could be demonetized anytime. It does sound like that, doesn't it? Or he could be deleted anytime. Now, this is a little bit weird. Then Rachel says, exactly. No one is making anyone donate. And Darth Chaz says, blurfs are e-beggars. So our good point is, do people consider flat earthers e-beggars because they are predicating the money on a lie or on a debunkable argument? Does that make them e-beggars? Is that why we consider them? Because we all do. We all consider flat earthers that are continually pushing for money just to sit and talk about flat earth e-begging, because I do believe, you guys know my feelings about Jaronism. I believe that Jaron realized the earth was a globe long ago due to the arguments he was having with people. But he looked at his Patreon sitting there with $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month from ad revenue and Patreon and was like, hold on now. I know it's a damn globe, but if I say that out loud, I'm losing all of that. Now, the point, how that relates to this is, if it's predicated on some bullshit argument or some lie or something there, that's the main issue. It's not just about having it. Now, the problem is that I think 8thoughts, he normally doesn't come out and have these types of arguments on the internet. So I do think 8thoughts went into the kill stream with a great point. I just think he centered or kind of took it to the next level in the wrong way, and I think it worked against him once he got onto the kill stream to talk to Jeremy. And I do think Jeremy kind of danced around and kind of dodged because Jeremy knew what he was saying. I kind of got that vibe, and I think Jeremy could have given 8thoughts more credit. Yeah, 8thoughts is abrasive, but he is saying something that a lot of people are thinking or a lot of people have an issue with. And getting to that point, the main point, and then discussing it. Now, I can't say much because I still need to listen to the last 20 minutes of this shit. when I kind of decided that I would do a versus mode on this, I stopped listening to the kill stream, the discussion they had. I think also I had a 10-minute video first, and then I realized there was more later. But anyway, though, we're going to listen to this whole thing on the after show on the Rock-A-Lot channel on YouTube, UNIRocktv on DLive and Scope, and UNIRock on Mixer after this stream. So if you want to kind of hear the rest of it, I'm going to be playing Escape from Tarkov, a new video game everybody's playing. And we're going to be listening to this stream and a bunch of other streams to get down to the basis. So let me see if anyone else said anything. Humboldt says, I think it's obscene that anyone makes that much sitting on their ass, especially when they look down on people that do honest work. And Roland says, the Morgile is. Mofo says, the FEs are e-beggars, but so are the debunkers, in Mofo's opinion. Joelbot says, it is the lie that makes it e-begging, in his opinion. I'm with you. I'm with you. Nana says, not if they truly believe it. They need money for college. Nana says with a laughy face. Very good point. That's funny, too. Can only debunk the flat earth one time, says Mofo. All-Seeing Donut. If the Flurfers really believes it, though, no. So it is a condition of belief there. But what if, now here's my point. That brings in the entire argument that we used to have all the time when I was doing that content more often. What is too far? In my opinion, it was, you got a flat earther. Maybe the flat earther is caught up in the conspiracy videos and doesn't realize he's wrong and it's easy to debunk. What, though, about somebody coming to him and giving him very easy thought processes, little easy things they can do to prove that they're wrong and prove the truth, them ignoring it or seeing it and intellectually saying, no way, I'm not going to pay attention to those facts. I'm going to pay attention to the facts that pushes my narrative. Yeah, you get me? So, yes, I do think that using the excuse, not if they believe it, is kind of not worthy in just this discussion. In others, it's great. It works great. Like if we're talking about religion as a connected to the whole belief system, if we're talking about other topics, it works. When it comes to this, though, making the money and whether it's e-begging, whether it's not, I think the whole fact is when back in the early days on YouTube, you guys know, it was like flooded out there. You could never find a debunked video. Nowadays, you type that shit in, you're going to get the best. Like Professor Dave, like I always say here, the best videos. You got me? So I think that argument's a little less effective now. It could have been used years ago when YouTube was a different place, but for people that exist on YouTube searching for that type of content and watching it, they eventually have to be bumping into videos like Dave's videos, right? And then if they do watch Dave's video, how do they make the argument that they believe it? They don't. Let's see what else you guys got, and we're going to head over to the after show. We're going to talk to you guys about some different stuff, then head to the after show. So let's get through this really quick. Dave says, Uni, I think greed is getting the better of him, and he's begun to manipulate people. You mean Jeremy in this situation? You mean the quartering, right? Let me pull the quartering up, and there we go. There's the two guys we're talking about. So you think that Jeremy has, like, greed kind of getting in front of him a little bit. I don't really watch Jeremy a lot. I don't hate the guy or anything. I've seen, I've watched his channel for a really long time. It's just I don't watch daily. If a really good topic will pop up, I'll click it, and I can't make it through the first 30, 40 seconds. Not to be mean, but it's because it takes him a while to get to that point. I do that. I know that people have that opinion about me, too. And I know some people feel like that about a lot of YouTubers. I just feel that way about him. I know a lot of people don't. I know a lot of people in my Discord server like his videos. And I do like some of them. It just depends on when it gets to that one little point and I'm like, I can't do it anymore. You know what I'm saying? I think you know what I'm saying. Anyway. I'm going to start a channel that just comments on UNIROCK 2 videos. Do you think it will fly? I don't think so, but you could try, I suppose. Seems like a boring channel to me. Ink says, sit right. The iPad is irritating me. Then our top ads, if it is begging for a lie, fine. Nail them. just to allow viewers to contribute or to give extra content for patrons. No problem there. And Busy's Crack Pipe says, Busy is an e-beggar, but what do you expect from somebody with a crack hobby? I think you're trying to say a lot more in that. I think that sentence means a lot of things there, guy. Big guy. I'm with you, though. Okay, I definitely see what y'all are saying, says Ink and Pearls. If somebody is truly an honest of characters, it's way more acceptable, but those who lie and run scams is gross. Jeremy is fine. He makes a lot of money, but good at what he does, says Jeff. And I agree. I do think he's good at what he does. I think the thing that Jeremy's good at is finding those stories that people want to see every day that go into the type of stuff he talks about. And that's not easy to do, right? If he grabbed different like other stories and ran them in, he wouldn't be as successful as he is. He has an eye for that, you know. But then I could say the same thing about 8 Thoughts too. All right, almost done with the comments section. I'm at the bottom. I live in a shoestring. Blah 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 blah. Oh, it tugs at the heart to want to donate that 20, but to know that they have so much more, it also tugs in my anger. Okay, so I've hit the bottom of the chat, and I appreciate your opinions. I'm with you. I'm with you guys. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and finish this topic. Let me tell you what I think. I'll hit the live chat for a minute. We're going to the after show. All right. So while it's not that exciting of a topic, and it's more of an older one, this happened of like 5, 6, 7 days ago. Let's see. Yep. Actually, just about a week or more ago, this happened, week and a day or two. It's not that exciting of a topic. It's a little off-key. It's a little bit boring to an extent. But I think it's based on an actual question that a lot of people have been thinking about. And it is, what constitutes e-begging? What doesn't? When is it okay to have Patreon? When is it not, right? And are certain people taking advantage of that? Or just the way that their channel operates? Or are they just doing what they do? And so I think it's a valid conversation to put out right now. I think it'll make a great versus mode video. But before I put it out, I thought I'd get your guys' opinion, and I just did. And I also thought we'd take a look at the whole thing, because it's one of those weird situations where you've got two YouTubers that a lot of people like, and a lot of people decided that they agreed with both of them on some points. And it was weird that 8 Thoughts did change the title of his video to The Quartering is an E-Beggar from an e-beggar and a scammer. I thought that was cool of him. So it was a little anticlimactic. You thought these guys were going to yell and scream at each other, and it didn't really happen that much. But in all reality, it was a pretty good show to watch. So if you get time, go out on YouTube, and you can find all you got to do is search both their names, just like it says right here, and you'll find the clip. And you can either find the shorter version that deals with just the main points, or you'll find the extended version that has the whole talk. It is kind of worth listening to for all those different reasons. Do I think it's wrong for you to start a channel and to have a Patreon? No. Typically, how it used to work is if you did edited videos, you wouldn't get super chats. You wouldn't get donos. So people made a Patreon so that they could say, look, you like my content, the option's there. Hit it up if you want. And then based on how many people like what you do, then you have the option as you grow to continue doing it or make it full time without having to have 100,000 subscribers to have a weekly paycheck come in, or a monthly check, however it works. Live streamers, they would just have like the PayPal pay link and just give the option. A lot of people nowadays, they just grab they grab the Patreon, they get the PayPal link, they get the whatever that other one is, I forget the name of it, and they then say whatever's easier for you. If you do want to, here it is, no worries. There's nothing wrong with that in my opinion. I do think it's abused. I do think there needs to be a little bit of criticism when it comes to the certain things that happen around this stuff, but that's what YouTube's for, and a lot of people decide to do that. I've done it before, not with YouTube content. With my old playlist, Crowdsourced Criminals, we used to look at GoFundMe campaigns that blew up or had some issue, or we would try to vote and see if we thought a GoFundMe campaign was legit or if it was just all about the money. A lot of people try to manipulate that statement too. Of course, people on YouTube are going to make money, and of course, GoFundMe campaigns are going to make money. That's the whole basis for the website. We need money to make something that we think people are going to like, and then good projects come from it. And of course, bad ones are too, and unsuccessful ones are going to happen. So anyway, my whole point is a lot of the logic gets lost on these things, especially with like the last few months that's been going on in our community. A lot of the logic's lost behind the scenes because people start criticizing or people start throwing it out there without a lot of reasons behind it or logic behind it. And I do think that might be why this story stuck out to me. Anyway, I'll have a who do I agree with, though? I'll tell you in the video. I'm going to upload a versus mode on this probably the beginning of next week. It won't take me long to throw it together because I've already got everything ready for it. But right now I kind of side with 8 Thoughts saying that, the way it was handled was a little bit messed up. But in reality, is Jeremy wrong? No, I don't think he is. Doesn't matter if you make, like with Angry Joe, I don't care that he makes 3 million subscribers in ad revenue and also just opened a Patreon. I don't care. I love Angry Joe's channel. I want Angry Joe to be successful so that every day or every couple days I can log in and see what he's done and have good content in front of me, right? That's rare right now on YouTube. There are a lot of people out there that have switched back to long-form content, and now because of that, people aren't getting like that. For a while there, it was like all day, every day, everybody was live streaming, and you just picked a channel and hung out on the live stream, and you were good to go. But now people are now, and I can tell you why it's happening, that people are getting back to long-form content now, and the reason is because YouTube actually is allowing us smaller creators to have our ads back. They've got several programs they've put in, like where you get to rate your own video for demonetization. I have that program, and it works after you do it for a month or two. It actually does start working, and you get your videos are actually monetized when you put them out when you rate it properly and do it the way they're supposed to. I'm happy about that. I think it's going to allow for more people to go back to doing what their audience liked, which was putting out videos that are edited. And for a lot of people that don't know why, edited videos take a while. They take a long time to make. It does take a long time to edit them and then render them once they're edited. It adds an hour just for the render. You got another 30 minutes to get it uploaded and tagged and titled to make the thumbnail. All that's avoided when you live stream. When you live stream, it's just done, and you just walk away like, bam, got it. But then you've got those extra rambling points, the extra talking. I think, though, it's cool that many creators are getting back to long-form content. So now that I've bored the living hell out of you for an hour, yep, we're hit the hour mark right now. I'm going to pull up the live chat, talk to you guys for a minute, and then we're going to go to the after show and hang out. And thankfully, this week, I'll have some videos done for you that are going to have a lot of really good thought processes to mull through. So hopefully you're keeping an eye out. Oh, and I want to thank Without a Crystal Ball. She put out a thank you video to me today or yesterday. And that was really kind of her because she did not have to do that. It was completely unexpected, but it was nice. So I appreciate it. All right. And I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm using a new live streaming setup. I really have to put some work into it to make it look good. Don't worry, my live stream will be back to normal soon. It'll be back to normal soon, y'all, so don't worry. I just have to build my new live stream area here. This is more of my video gaming one, so. No, All Seeing Donut. I love D Live. Let me tell you what happened, and let me talk to you guys here while we just chill before we head over to there to the Rock-A-Lot channel for the after show here. All right, let me get my scene set up for the after show, and we'll be ready to roll. All right. I think we're good. I got my title set up over there. Got everything ready for me to transfer over. Okay. Got my live chat pulled up. Got to reset my live chat. And we're go. We go. Oh, beautiful transition. Ooh, let me test it. Ah, I kind of like it. Makes me dizzy when I do it so fast, but I like it. Okay, all right. 1 second. Let me get my background set up. Where's that background that I like? You know that one that has the little train and all that? That's the one I want. That it? Oh, snap, son. I got her. All right. I never worry about monetization on my channel. I believe in giving free content. That's nice of you, but you're crazy. You are crazy, my dude. Because I'll tell you why. You put out all that content, and when you least expect it, even the craziest video, even the weirdest video, you're going to have it go viral. Or you're just going to have it get into the algorithm and get a bunch of views over a long period of time or in a short period of time. And when you have monetization turned on, basically 5 seconds, you skip the ad, that's nothing. It's not any inconvenience. And just by having that on, you're going to make a couple $1,000 off 1 million views, which then, even if you say to yourself, I don't care to get money from YouTube, you could just use it to get something nicer to do your channel, like a computer, a tablet, or whatever. But I mean, I do appreciate the thought process. So, you know, I get what you're saying. I do. I respect you for it. Been loving the backgrounds lately, says Joelbot. Why, thank you. I love this background too, Mary. Yes, I do too. I love the little... That's actually not a train. It's a road, but I call it... it's really not. I do love me that background. I ain't playing. I am not playing. I remember the stained glass period. I love those. Well, I'm glad you did, because I've been working on getting the stained glass back into a scene inside of this new studio. So I think it'll be this one right here. We'll have stained glass behind it. Because, you know, you don't really see a lot right here. You see behind me there? Wait, let me test something. Where is the video? Crap. I'll fix it in the after show, so. Do androids dream? My phone does. I'm just playing. I don't know. Looks like Blade Runner. It does. Cyberpunkish, right? With the little things flying overhead. I love it. Yeah, a lot of people... how do you do that? The background? I can tell you if you want to know. I can tell you how I do it. I really like this background too, yeah. I never knew it had a little pizza sign on it because it was covered up last time by the middle. Remember my old window? I used to have a different window in here. Let me take away the window. See how that's we're in a skyscraper. See, those are skyscraper windows. So yeah, our top, I know, man. Yeah, definitely. I get why you're doing it. I respect you for it. I really do. I think it's pretty cool of you. I do. when it comes to monetization of a channel, I think it's normal, I guess. You know, I think it's a really cool system. You've got ads there. If somebody decides to watch the ad instead of skip it, you're going to make like, you know, instead of a couple pennies, you might make a dime. And then when you get like, you know, 1 million people watching, you're going to walk away with a couple $1,000. And it's just pretty cool that it works like that, you know. I think, though, that what ends up happening, it just opens the door for a lot of people to take advantage of it. It's really easy for people to fake content. And I know that sounds crazy, but it does happen. The fake kind of being like, not fake, but to not take it seriously, but at the same time, try to push the air of deserving a lot of money for what they do, right? And then you've got some bigger YouTube channels where they get 1 million views per video. They upload and just get 1 million views, and they don't even care about YouTube. They're just like looking into a phone for a little bit. Usually they're famous or something, though, or they've got like something else like that going on. So, yeah. I forget what we were going to talk about. I had a whole topic for the end of this damn thing. Is Streamlabs working? Let me see here. Or let me see what's going on. Let me see if I can fix this. I don't know what's wrong. Okay. Dave says, Uni, you got a modest following. I think asking for support is completely reasonable versus Jeremy. Doesn't need to create the feeling that he's doing less than great, is a feeling underhanded. Well, that was what I meant, right? Those kind of feelings that people give out, like whether or not they're saying whatever it may be to kind of incite something when like, oh, this month it's down and all this. And I don't mind people being honest. I don't mind them like airing their feelings out about it. But I think 8 Thoughts saw a different point and then ended up, when he went to argue with him, kind of lost that point. But I think 8 Thoughts basically didn't get a backlash for what he did because we all agreed. When I saw what Jeremy's doing there, do I like, you know, I don't want to intimidate people from trying to go and put up a website that goes against Kotaku or something, because Kotaku does horrible reporting and they get paid off to write good reviews for crap games, and then they insult good games out there for the dumbest stuff like Tarkov. Excuse me. I'm still dealing with a cold, but they were trying to say Escape from Tarkov doesn't have any women playable character, and so it's like a misogynist game, when that's not true. It's actually representing kind of a war period in Russia or Germany or some shit, I don't know, during a certain time in history. And it's like, that's why I think Jeremy standing up and trying to do a website to compete with that is a good thing, and I don't have an issue with it. I don't have an issue with him crowdsourcing it either. I do find it weird that he doesn't put ads on his exclusively games and actually make some money off the website. Just use Google Ads, dude. You can make some money off of it. I don't know, dude. Watching a TV show ad live and streaming it? No, I don't think I meant that, but what are you guys talking about? Am I missing something? Because I feel like people are commenting on something I'm not talking about. Oh, here it is. Here's what chaps my ass. Some guy used a clip from a show I was on as a teenager and made like 5 million views. More than iCloney? You mean like watching a TV show ad live, streaming it? Comments early in the stream, FYI. I was thinking of her too. Almost typed it, Leroy, you beat me. Not commentary on the clip, literally just the video. It wasn't asking for donos that made people turn on Darkside Phil and Wings of Redemption. It was that they were disingenuous about it. It was good for the quartering to get a light head check for it, I think. It was good for him, right? No, you're right there. I think that 8 Thoughts was making a good point to him, and it probably is going to check him. And that's what most criticism is supposed to do. Like, could you imagine if in the last while some criticism videos that went out were actually paid attention to and people actually got them? You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of the flooded, you know, narrative pushing stuff devalues it, because it just adds this big like shitty mix into things it ends up like getting a lot of people to turn away from a situation. Oh, yes, Han. That's a good one. I'm sorry, but no, you're right there. You are right there. You mentioned fake content. The example of fake would be like live streaming me watching a show. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Lots more than iCloney. Which is a copyright strike, says Ink and Pearls. Exactly. Exactly. I'm with you. What time we got? Okay, 10:20. Come with me. You want to keep talking to me? I'm heading over to the after show. D-Live, Scope, and Mixer. Oh, that's what we were supposed to freaking talk about. D-Live has been disconnecting in the evenings. I like D-Live. It worked good. Anybody could make an account. Everybody liked it there. The issue with D-Live, for a solid month and a half, it would just disconnect. Like, I would be streaming, and then it would go off, and people in my live chat would be like, yo, Uni, it went off, and I'd have to go to my dashboard and then reset the live stream in order to get D-Live working again, and it got really bad. So I had to do something to try to make up for it, so people had a place to watch the after show where it didn't disconnect all the time, because I wasn't watching my live chat all the time to find out it disconnected, and it sucks when you're doing a show to have to reconnect the show over and over again. By the way, Mixer and Periscope weren't disconnecting, just D-Live. So I just went ahead and turned on the Rock-A-Lot channel, which is a gaming channel I upload to every once in a while, and sent the signal for that over to while I'm doing the after show, but everybody liked it. Everybody started saying that they liked the to have the Rock-A-Lot channel up and that they want to see me stream there. So I was like, okay, we'll start turning it on for the after show. So D-Live is so bad for me. I like Mixer, says Wesley. I love Mixer. I really do. The issue with Mixer is that it's hard to make an account. And then when people do make an account, it automatically assigns them a nickname. And then it takes forever for them to be able to change their nickname. And I didn't know what they were talking about at first. Everybody was saying, I'm not making an account on Mixer. I can't make an account on Mixer. Mixer's doing this. And I was like, no, I didn't have any issue. Well, there is something weird about it because I tried to make another account and see what was up. And I had the issue. So I don't know if it's a new issue with it or what. I don't know what's going on. But there's a bunch of people. Mixer gives you 2 words as a nickname. So it could be like Super Flyer or Biker Mountain or something. It just takes 2 random words and makes it your nickname until you change it. And for some reason, people are having a really hard time changing it, and they're having a really hard time figuring that name out. So thank you, Dead GPK. Will you share that share that a few more times when I start the outro for me? Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I'm going to keep streaming on the Rock-A-Lot channel, our after show and our prep show, because it's been doing so good. Okay, I gotta go. I'm heading over to the Rock-A-Lot channel. I know what everybody wants to talk about. I don't want to talk about that here. I don't care if it's bad for my views. I'm not talking about certain people on this channel unless it's in an edited video. That's what's happening. Sorry. So if you want to talk about all the other stuff, it's on the Rock-A-Lot channel. I'm heading there now. Thank you guys for hanging with me and giving me your quick opinion on the 8 Thoughts versus the quartering situation. I'm going to make an edited versus mode video on it. Do me a favor. When it comes out, give it a watch. Give your opinion in the comments. All that good stuff. Give it a like or a dislike, okay? And I'll see you over there on the Rock-A-Lot channel, right? Leroy, thank you, dude. Appreciate it. Can we get the sound effects, Streamlabs? Hold on, let me try something. It's still not working. Let me try to fix it. Hold up. I'm going to fix it right now. Come on, man. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, think I got it. I think I got it, guys. I think it's working. All right, so I kicked in the alert box, and I finally think it's actually starting to go. Looks like it's actually starting to go. All right, it's going to now play all the alerts from today now. It's going to throw up all the alerts from like the last few hours now. Oh, Streamlabs is actually working in the chat now too. Good. Kev, what is up, dude? Hey, I jumped over in your show the other day and was waving at you and stuff, man. You've been knocking it out of the park lately, man. All right, let's test this. Let's test this new donation noise. Let's see if it works. If you guys aren't subscribed to the Kev Baker Show, you're missing out. He's a really good dude. Hit him up. Good friend of mine.
Expose me, Boomer.
There it is. There it is. It's working.
Expose me, Boomer.
Is that loud enough?
Expose me, Boomer.
I think you guys can hear it okay. I seen you when you just left, bro. Love you all the way. Never think my absence is anything more than that. You're still a crazy squad. You're still your crazy Scottish fanboy, and I'm still your crazy American fanboy myself, dude. I know. Same here, bro. You know it. You don't even have to explain over here, man. Ride or die, brother. Ride or die right here on UNIRock. See you on the Rock-A-Lot show for the Rock-A-Lot channel for the after show. Just so you guys know, it's playing that through. Okay, Super Chat's playing that. So that's still the Super Chat noise. So the Streamlabs donation noise through PayPal and Streamlabs is.
Expose me, Boomer.
Okay, so that's why it's not working. Okay, I'm transferring it over right now. Get ready. Dead GPK, somebody go ahead and throw it in. Throw the link to the Rock-A-Lot in here. I'm turning it on. Rock-A-Lot's on. And we will see you guys tomorrow. We will have a longer live show here tomorrow, guys, on UNIRock 2. So make sure you're here tomorrow night, guys. Appreciate you. Peace.